Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome to Cash Talks Football, where we break down every single goal in the Premier League and give you some insight from a coach's perspective with only over 20 years plus coaching experience. So hopefully you can become a better coach or become a better player. I'm actually almost turning into a VAR review channel at this point. I can't believe there's so many. I've been kind of dodging the penalty decisions and VAR decisions. I spent all day watching football today, and some of the referees, they're doing it on purpose. If you don't think that these referees know what they're doing, you're a fool. They're getting paid a lot of money. They go through a lot of courses. They know what they're doing. They're doing this on purpose. I love the way that people give these people oh, they're just incompetent. No, they're not. You don't get to this higher level in life of being incompetent. You're doing it because you're making the decisions. The people that are in charge want those decisions to happen, and that's what happens. Now, here's an interesting thing. This challenge here, anyone who's played football knows how it happens, right? And I've got all the highlights, and you can't see it in the highlights because they've already cut it out, the highlights, so you can't actually try to go make a video about it and show you what they're doing right and wrong. Because what the other thing they do, when they make the wrong decisions, which they do all of the time, and remember, the wrong decisions, and I mean on purpose, they've made the decisions wrong and on purpose, they cut them out of the highlights, so you can't analyse what they're doing right and wrong. And it happens all the time, and I'm going to start to do a whole lot more of these reviews the more I'm catching these people and they're taking it out. So the reason why this, I think this wee lad's name is Curtis Jones, why it's not a red card and why other ones are when you go over the ball, because he hasn't gone over the ball, he's put his foot on the ball, the Spurs player has kicked the ball away, and his foot has now gone over the ball and stood on the Spurs player. It isn't that he's gone over the ball and stood on the Spurs player. He's got the ball, and then the ball's been kicked, and he's slipped off the top, and then he's hit the Spurs player. Is it a yellow? Yeah. Is it a red? No. Not in anyone's world that's played football before. And giving him a red card, and here's the other important part. I'm going to move it forward so you can see what VAR did. So what VAR did, there's the challenge. But a bit of innocuous. Yeah, he's caught him. I've gone over because he's kicked the ball. He knows what he's done. Yeah, fair. So then we go to VAR. And all VAR does is show that image. And anyone who sees that image there will tell you it's 100% a red card. There isn't anyone that's going to go, oh yeah, that's a red card. Because it looks like he's gone straight over the ball when he's hit that. But that isn't what's happened. And they don't show him what's happened because the purpose isn't to show a decision, it's to get a red card. The purpose isn't there to help the referee and say, look, he's put his foot on the ball, he slipped it over, you've done it right. That isn't what's going on. Because we know that's if they showed the right, the whole thing in motion, that's what he would see. He doesn't see it in motion. He doesn't get shown that. He just gets shown that image. And if you're shown that image, what are you going to do? You're going to send the player off. And that's what the ref does. Because think of it from the ref's point of view. He thinks it's a yellow. He sees that. Now in his mind, Curtis Jones has gone straight over the ball and stood on the other player. Which isn't what happened. He put his foot on the ball, won it. The other player's kicked it. His foot slipped off and he stood on him. That's what's happened. But the ref can't see that. And they deliberately let the referee not see that. Because if they let the referee see that, the referee wouldn't send him off. But they didn't show that. So that's how you know it's purposely done. This isn't done because they're making a mistake. They're doing it because they're purposely showing it, right? And there's other games, I've seen so many of these, I just didn't really bother to start commenting on it. But I am now. I'm going to start putting all these little VARs in another little thing. So there we go. Straight red from that. Here's the funny thing. Go back last year, and the exact same challenge was made, the exact same way, and there was no red card. Funny. And it was the same match, Spurs versus Liverpool, but it was the other way round, Spurs against Liverpool player. So, yeah, that happened as well. But, of course, they weren't trying to get people sent off then, because that wasn't what the narrative they were looking for. That wasn't what they were trying to do. This game they were, so that's what they did. So let's keep going and see if we can actually get a goal instead of just talking about VAR. Oh, I'm sorry, we're talking about VAR again. Now, funny, because if you're watching on the, what are they called, the highlights, they don't put this up for more than a millisecond. It's like on and off, gone, straight away. And they say this is offside, which is clearly not offside. How do we know this? Well, because we've got this line there. This is the line. Woo! It doesn't even need to be straight. But if these two lines are different sizes, guess what? He's onside. Let's just get rid of that, make sure we can see it. Look. Oh, look, there's his foot. He can't score with his hand. There's his little shouldery part. There's his foot. And all you got to do is look at me, boomer, zooming it in. Which one is the biggest line? And the biggest line is the top one. So that means he's further away than the bottom one. Because, of course, all these are cut to perfect size. That's why they do it. And the other instance you know that they're cheating, the other thing you can spot every single time, when they've got a dodgy offside decision, they don't draw the lines. You don't see the lines, because they know if they put the lines on, you'll see it's onside, and they can't cheat in the game. And remember, if you still think the Premier League doesn't have cheating at the highest level, you're a fool. Absolute fool. Classic example, right before you. Everybody can see that's onside. Class is offside, and there we go. Well, let's get on to the goal. Maybe we can get a goal in the game, and I don't have to talk about VAR. God, because it's just terrible. It's so bad. It's so corrupt. It's not funny. Okay, so here we are straight away. And to be fair, the game's in a mess because... Well, from a Liverpool sort of point of view, if you've just had a goal disallowed, which is clearly a goal, and a player's been sent off, that was like your mind is all over the place. For you to try to sort of concentrate on a football game, and I don't know if you've been in those sorts of situations, your mind just thinks the world's against you. And they've been called out here by a really good pass. But what I want you to notice is the gap between the centre back and the right back, which has enabled them to play that ball through. Right? Let's just have a little look as we move this forward. Can you see that gap there? There's the difference. There's the problem. He's got suckered out too far wide. You can go out wide, but he wanted to be a little bit closer there. I wouldn't want him, that far out wide. I'd want him a little bit closer inside than even where I originally put him. I'd want him probably about there. He's got pace as Joe Gomez, and you've just opened up that gap for that through ball. You've made it easy for him, and they've capitalised on it. Now, I've still got work to do. To be fair, this. Son's in the middle here. Son's got... I rate Son. He's a quality footballer. I think he's very underrated. And I mean, okay, people class him as a good, 8 or 9 out of 10, but I think he's a good 9 or 10 out of 10 player. He's really world class. Good cross in. Bosch. Keeper, I think he does the right thing. I'm a fan of the keeper staying inside the 6-yard box and making sure he doesn't have that near post goal there. And then he's got to trust his defenders. And the most overrated centre-back in the world, which is Virgil van Dijk, doesn't do anything. And it's just the tap in the goal, calling for offside. I can't stand it. If you didn't call for offside and you tried to play the game, Virgil, maybe it wouldn't have gone in. Think about that. But it did. Let's get on to the next goal. We've just got a little lofted ball in here. And I'm shocked at the fact... at this point, remember, Liverpool down to 10 men, but they've got 3 players in the box with technically only two defenders here. That's poor from a Tottenham point of view. Very poor. You shouldn't be allowing yourself to be in that situation, being outnumbered in your box. That's just terrible. Remember, this guy here, he's out of the situation because there's the line and the ball's getting dropped in behind. He's taken out of the play completely. So he's absolutely useless, and so are these two here, unless, of course, the ball's getting cut back, which it does. As we go, look, he doesn't move. He should have carried on going. They're assuming I know exactly what this guy's doing because I used to do it in centre midfield all the time because I refuse to head the ball because I'm beautiful and I don't head the ball. And I used to look at my centre-back, say, hey, mate, deal with that. I'm not running. Can you deal with that? And that's exactly what he's done there, looking for his goalkeeper or a centre-back to deal with it, or it goes out of play. And it's done none of that. The Liverpool players kept it in again. Look, and he still hasn't really moved. And the little knock on, all of a sudden he goes to react, and it's all too late, and the ball's in the back of the net box. It was a good... I'm not sure about this Cody Gakpo guy. I haven't really seen much of him, but he looks very technical. So, like in situations like that, he looks like he's very good and he can turn and spin very well. I don't really like strikers that are having to do this turn spin. I always believe if you're having to turn and spin, that means you've got your back to the goal. That means you're facing the wrong way. As a striker, you want to face the goal because that's where you want to kick it. It sounds that simple. Because it is. And if you're facing with your back to the goal, that means you do have to do a little pivot spin turn, which he does here. But normally, that's an opportunity to block it, and they just weren't on the races there, Spurs. They should have had that. Should have been easy. Let's get on to the last goal. My apologies, we're not going to get on to the last goal, because there's another red card. Now, here's the interesting thing, because I watched this game. I watched a lot of games today. This yellow card, it's kind of one, but it's not. The problem is the yellow card directly before wasn't a yellow card in any way, shape or form. But of course, that extra 15 seconds, they're not going to show you that. So you can't make up your mind of whether or not the first yellow card was a yellow card and then the ref instantly sent him off afterwards. Because when you look at this as it goes forward, as it goes, Jota's got the ball. Is he getting fouled and pulled? Yeah, kind of getting fouled and pulled. Goes to the ground. The player dives. Does he dive? Well, we can have a look because they do a little bit. They do a little bit, and they move in. And here's the other thing. If you know anything about football, the first time that, literally, remember, this is within 15 seconds of him getting a yellow card. The next thing that happens is a player dives to the player that's got the yellow card. Anyone that's played football before knows that he's trying to cheat the referee because the guy just got a yellow card. And the first thing you're going to do is dive and see if the referee is dumb enough to send him on. Oh, sorry, send him off. Or corrupt enough. I believe it's the other. So let's move this forward. He's pleading his innocence. Ref's coming over. Yeah, but I've been told I got to send you off because, that's my job. Because, Did you not know how the Premier League really works? Oh, and here we go. Dive in. Does he catch him? No, he doesn't. Oh, and look, it instantly goes on, so we can't watch the replay straight away. Oh, look, maybe it's a bit dodgy. Now, I've told you that every single time you're going to see highlights and you're going to know it's the wrong decision and they immediately gloss over it. Because if it was the right decision, you'd see 2 or 3 different replays from different angles. But if you're trying to back it up, look, you can see he doesn't really touch him. Look, and dives over. But you don't get to see the action because they cut it. And that's how you know they're cheating, boys and girls, in the Premier League. There we go. Let's get on to the last goal. Oh, here we go. I think this is the last goal, boys and girls. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Drills it in. Matip puts it away. Okay, honestly, I'm not sure about this game. I just think it was a complete mess. But here we go. There's not much Liverpool can do. They're down to 9 men. And this ball into the box here is low and hard. If you're bad at football and you're not sure about being able to cross a ball, I suggest smash the ball low and hard across the 6-yard box, just like that. The amount of own goals you will get people to concede. And Joel Matip, does his thing, puts it into the top corner. Almost Harry Maguire-esque there. Smashes it into the top of the net box. I mean, he doesn't just he smashes it into the net box. All he has to do is go to the safety of this area here. And for some reason, he's trying to go high. Don't go high, guys, in your penalty box. If you can see the goal, try to get it wide. Try to get it wide. Don't try to put it over the bar because that's the only time you're going to do a great finish and you're just going to go straight in. And don't do that. Other than that, guys, I'll see you next time. If you're still here, give us a like and subscribe. And I'm going to go on more of these VAR rants. I'm so pissed at VAR. It's just embarrassing. But there we go. See you next time on Cash Talks Football.